if you will, make your way to meet me on your mat. Easy seat, Sukhasana, with your legs crisscross applesauce. Remove any excess meat from your seat, stacking the shoulders over the hips, pulling the navel in towards the spine. Or, if you prefer, you can make your way into child's pose or onto the back, which is where we will begin. This sequence today is on our backs, so feel free to start there or make your way there after we take a few collective inhales and exhales together. We'll inhale through the nose, hold at the top, and then exhale slowly through the mouth as we let it go. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, fill up. Hold at the top. Exhale slowly through the mouth, let it go. Again, taking a deep breath in through the nose, fill up. Feel the belly lift, feel the heart lift. Hold. Exhale slowly through the mouth as you let it go. Last time collectively, taking a deep breath in through the nose, fill up. Feel the heart lift, hold at the top. Sip in a bit more air if you can before exhaling through the mouth slowly as you let it go. If you haven't already, begin to close down or soften the eyes as you pull the gaze inward. Relax the face muscles, unhinge the jaw. You can roll the shoulders up, back, and down, letting the shoulder blades melt down the back if you're in a seated position. Or if you're flat on your back already, you can feel the spine melt into the mat from tailbone to neck bone. And before we begin this class today, I'd like to offer you this little tidbit, this little piece of my mind in a positive way, not in a negative. And those of you who may know me know that I am a bit of a hopeless romantic. I enjoy cheesy romantic movies on the Hallmark Network or on Netflix, like Sweet Magnolias or Virgin River, if one of those kind of shows comes on, or a really good chick flick romance movie. I'm there for it. I will watch it. And when I watch these, I oftentimes find or hear a quote that resonates with me in the moment or in the time, and I will jot the quote down in my phone notes or in my journal, and then I will go back to those quotes later when I am journaling and write the quote down, where I got it from, and then just kind of write down in my journal what that quote meant to me or how it spoke to me in the moment or in the time that I heard it or in the time that I'm writing about it, whatever the case may be. So for this little tidbit or this little piece of my mind that I would like to offer today, it comes from the character Eric on the show Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it highly. And if you've never watched it, you have a couple seasons so you can binge it. And he said, growth includes pain. And I thought when I heard that, wow, that is a great way to put it. And how does that resonate with me? And how does that make me feel? In what ways? And what truth do I take from that? So as I wrote in my journal, I wrote, growth includes pain. And no matter the paths that you choose to take, there will be stumbles and maybe some falls, but becoming skilled and happy on the path that you've chosen takes risks. And it's in those times that you take those risks that you potentially may cause you to fall or stumble or trip. And that's okay, because that is how we learn, and that is how we grow, and that is how we will eventually find our happy. So if at any point in time, as we flow throughout this class today, that your mind begins to wander to negative thoughts, to overwhelming thoughts, stressful thoughts, ungrowing thoughts, painful thoughts, whatever they may be, that begin to distract you, pull you down, crush you instead of help you grow. On an inhale, pull all of those thoughts to the forefront of your mind, and as you exhale, let them go. And when you begin to fill back up again, pull with you only positive affirmations, intentions, mantras, growing thoughts, unpainful thoughts, happy thoughts. Whether that is, I am loved, I am fearless, I am amazing, I'm confident, I'm strong, I'm steady, I'm grounded, I'm grateful, I'm patient. Whatever resonates with you today, hold it, connect it with the breath, and connect it with the present moment as you flow throughout this class today. Taking another few breaths together, taking a deep breath in, exhale, let it go. Once more, inhaling, fill up. Exhaling, breathe it out. And if you aren't there already, begin to make your way onto your back. Slowly and surely, making sure the entire length of the spine is pressed into your mat, again from tailbone to neck bone. Bring the heels a bit closer in. You can leave the palms of the feet into the mat with the knees bent. If you like, you can heel toe the feet out just a bit further to the side edges of your space. And just begin to tick-tock the knees from side to side or windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Taking about 2 or 3 breaths here on your own. Remembering that this is your practice and I am only here as a guide to talk and offer suggestions and variations. Everybody's body is different every day. Everybody's body is different, period. Do what feels best for yours in this class, in this moment, in this time. Begin to heel toe the feet back into about hips width distance apart on your next inhale. And as you exhale, settle in, bring the arms down by the sides, let the fingertips raise the back of the heels. We're going to inhale and come into our bridge pose, slowly lifting up the hips, trying to keep the thighs, the knees parallel. You may need to roll the shoulders underneath a bit, keeping the chin away from the chest. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And on your exhale, begin to slowly lower all the way back down. One vertebrae at a time. Bringing the entire spine back into the mat. We'll do that once more, inhaling as we lift the hips, coming into our bridge pose. Engaging through the glutes, the inner thighs, keeping the thighs and knees parallel. Chin is away from the chest. You can leave the fingertips grazing the back of the heels, or you can clasp the hands together underneath the back. Take a breath in. Settle on the breath out. Once more, inhale. And as you exhale and clasp the hands if they were together, and then begin to slowly lower the body all the way back down into the mat. Inhale, pulling the knees in towards heart center. Exhale as you give yourself a squeeze. Maybe roll from side to side, massaging out the lower back, the spine. Eventually bringing the palms of the feet back down into the mat, keeping the knees bent. Feet should be about hips width distance apart. You can leave the hands down by your side if you'd like. Inhale, lifting that right leg up long. You can point and flex the foot. Exhale as you settle. You can roll out the ankle. But eventually bring that right ankle to rest on top of the left knee, coming into a figure 4 on our back. You have a few options here. You can stay in stillness just as you are. Maybe bringing the right hand to press on that right knee. Or if you would like, you can begin to sway or tick-tock the knees from side to side, coming through a wonky word supine twist from side to side, maybe pausing on one side a little bit longer than the other, if that's what you need today. Or if you'd like, you can come from center, lift that left foot up off the ground, bring the hands around the back of the left thigh, and use the right elbow to press on the outside or on the right knee. You can even straighten the left leg up long if you'd like. Some people do kind of rock from side to side. Again, your practice, your choice. 2 more breaths here on your own. On your next inhale, begin to come out of this pose the same way you came in. Exhaling as you extend the right leg long and you point and flex the foot, roll out the ankle, eventually bringing the right foot back down to meet the left, adjust where needed. I haven't said this already, so if you haven't done so, feel free to blink open the eyes, unpull the gaze inward, opening up, bringing the gaze outward. Keeping the face muscles relaxed and the jaw unhinged. Inhale, lifting the left leg long, and begin to exhale as you settle and point and flex that foot, roll out the ankle. Eventually bringing the left ankle to rest on top of the right knee, figure 4 on our back on the opposite side, taking a breath in, settling on the breath out, same options here, pressing the left hand on the left knee, swaying the knees from side to side, or windshield wipering the knees, coming through those funky kind of supine twists, or lifting that right foot up off of the mat, taking a deeper stretch that way. Bringing the hands around the back of the right thigh, using the left elbow to press on that left knee. You can extend the right leg straight or keep it bent. Yogi's choice. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Again, inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale and begin to unwind, unravel, undo, exhaling as you come out of the pose the same way you came into it, extending that left leg long. Point and flex the foot, roll out the ankle, eventually bringing the left foot back down to meet the right. Feel free to windshield wiper the knees again from side to side if you'd like. But eventually on an inhale, pull the knees into heart center, exhaling as you give yourself a squeeze. Bring the arms around the shins, roll from side to side, massaging out the lower back, and then maybe rolling forward and backward. Eventually rolling up and over the shins, coming through tabletop just for a moment. Taking a breath in, bringing the big toes to touch behind us, and on our breath out, sink our hips towards our heels, coming into Child's Pose Balasana. You can let the arms go long overhead here. Forehead comes down to the mat, keeping the knees as close together or as far apart as feels best for you today. You can stay in stillness here if you'd like, or you have a few options. You can come up onto the fingertips, pressing the fingertips into the mat, keeping the hands tented up. Gives a deeper stretch along the top of the biceps and the shoulders. You can stay like this in stillness. You can spider the hands like I'm doing right now, or you can walk the hands from side to side, feeling a deeper stretch along the side body. Remembering that if you take a stretch on one side, to take the counter stretch on the opposite side. You'll be here for just about 3 to 4 breaths on your own. You can also bring the hands down by your side, leaving the hands facing or the palms facing up to receive, or even bringing the hands to prayer over the back of the nape of the neck. Again, yogi's choice. Remembering that if at any point in time throughout this practice today you'd like to come back to Child's Pose, it's always here for you. Take it when you need it. Taking a deep breath in. If you're not in center already, begin to make your way there. We'll meet back in our neutral tabletop on an exhale. Take a deep breath in through the nose, fill up. And as you exhale, soften into any space you created. inhale, making your way up onto the hands and knees, coming into your tabletop, neutral spine, keeping the shoulders, elbows, and wrists in a line. Navel is pulled in towards the spine. You can have the toes untucked or tucked, your choice. Knees are under the hips. Take a breath in, lower the torso down towards the mat, come into your cow pose, pulling the heart through the front of the biceps. Lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhale as you push the palms into the mat, coming into cat pose, round and curl. Pull the tailbone in, pull the chin in. We'll flow that 2 more times. Breath to movement, inhaling for cat, for cow. Sign the heart out, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhaling for cat. Pull the back of the heart up through the shoulder blades. Tuck the tailbone in, tuck the chin. Last time, together, inhaling for cow. Lift the tailbone, lift the chin. Exhaling for cat, round and curl. Pull the chin in, pull the tailbone in. And then be organic with your movement. Maybe you just flow through your cat and cow a few more times. Or maybe you create small C's with your side body. Maybe you look over one shoulder and lean the hips down towards the mat on one side. And then do the same on the other. Or perhaps, if it feels authentic to you, you can take some barrel rolls. Whatever feels good for you today. Take it. Leave the rest. Eventually, we're going to inhale and meet back in our neutral spine tabletop. Exhale to settle. Bring each palm about 1 palm print in front of you. Shift your hips down towards the mat. Take a breath in. Then on your breath out, chaturanga, let the elbows graze the rib cage. Hold halfway for 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Bringing the hands to just underneath or just at the top edge of your rib cage. Pulling the shoulder blades towards one another. Elbows are pointed up towards the sky. Inhale, straighten the arms all the way out. Pull the heart through the front of the biceps, coming into your upward facing dog. Lift your chin, lift the gaze, leaving the lower half of the body unclenched and relaxed. We're stretching the front and the upper part of the body. We'll be here for 2 breaths. You can stay in the center in stillness, or if you'd like, you can maybe look over one shoulder and then the other before eventually meeting back in center and stillness. Take a breath in, and on that breath out, lower all the way back down to the mat slowly. Hands come to just underneath the shoulders. Inhale through tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Create that inverted V shape with the body. Pressing equal weight through both palms. Take a moment to create movement before we settle in. Maybe we walk our dog, bending one knee and then the other. Maybe we look under one shoulder and then the other. Maybe we roll to the knife edge of our feet in one direction and bend our knees, getting a deeper stretch along our side body. Inhaling back up through center and exhaling to the opposite knife edge of our feet and bend our knees. But on your next inhale, wherever you are, we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Settling on the exhale, pushing equal weight through both palms. Shoulders are away from the ears, melted down the back. You're lifting your tailbone up towards the sky, pushing your chest towards your thighs. You can have a little or a lot of a bend in your knees, and you're trying to melt your heels down into your mat. It is okay if your heels don't touch. Mine rarely do. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Once more, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Inhale, look forward. And as you exhale, walk, tiptoe, shimmy, shuffle, shake. However you'd like to get there. Bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of your space in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Realign the spine, bringing the palms to the shins, the knees or the thighs, lengthening through the spine, out through the crown. Exhale, forward fold. You can bring the palms down to meet the mat if you'd like. You can keep your feet about hips width distance apart, or you can heel toe the feet out to the side edges of your space to come into a deeper ragdoll. We're going to take a deep breath in, and on our breath out, we're going to come into our ragdoll, bringing the torso to rest on the top of the thighs, keeping a deep bend in the knees, letting the upper body hang heavy. You should feel the long line of the neck and the heaviness of the neck and the head. You can stay in stillness. We'll be here for about 3 or 4 breaths on your own, or you can sway from side to side. You can grab opposite elbows as you sway from side to side, taking care to make sure you continue to let the head and the neck hang heavy. You can also clasp the hands behind the back, let them fall heavy towards the head. On your next inhale, begin to make your way back into center. And as you exhale, bring the palms back down to meet the mat. Heel toe the feet back in towards one another, about hips width distance apart. Taking a breath in. And as you exhale, come into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, realign your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, and begin to zombie roll the body up. Exhaling as you stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Meeting at the top in equal standing pose. Sama, Si, Tahi. Bring the hands to heart center. Take a breath in. Let it go. Inhale, reminding yourself to be positive. I am strong. Exhaling, I am patient. Deep breath in. I am fearless. Deep breath out. I am loved. Last time collectively. Inhaling. I am positive. Exhaling. I am awesome. Take a breath in, root down, rise up, mountain pose Tadasana, biceps frame the ears. Exhale to settle, let the shoulders melt down the back, biceps are framing the ears. Pull the navel in towards the spine, lift the tailbone slightly, lift the kneecaps to engage the quads. And I like to pick up my toes and then place them back down so that I can feel all 4 corners of my feet pressed into the mat. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the fingertips. And as we exhale, we're going to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back, high plank, coming from the knees or the toes. Your entire body is engaged here. You have that hollow body hold with the upper part of your body. It feels like you're pulling the back of the heart up through the shoulder blades. Take a breath in, shift forward. On your breath out, chaturanga, let the elbows graze the ribcage. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, look forward. On your breath out, walk, float, jump or fly the feet to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, settle. We will move through a moon salutation for this flow. You may want to bring your mat so that you're moving slightly off center from it, because we'll be stepping out to the right and to the left as we move through this moon salutation. Inhale as you root down, rise up, mountain pose Tadasana. Exhale, palms touch. Take a breath in, lengthen. On the breath out, lean to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale as we step it out, coming into goddess, cactus the arms, bend the knees. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, come into triangle to the right. Straighten that right leg. Bring the right arm to the inside of the shin or all the way down to the floor. Shift the hips back towards the back of your space. That back foot has heel to arch alignment with the front. It should feel as though you're between two panes of glass. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, rotate the upper body over the top of the thigh, coming into pyramid. You may want to step that back foot in just slightly, turning it to a 45-degree angle. Shift the hips towards the back of your space, keeping a long neutral spine. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Once more, inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale as you make your way into low crescent lunge, bending that right knee, bringing the hands up by the ears. Take a breath in. On the breath out, rotate the body, coming into Skandasana, turning the body towards the side edge of your mat, opening up the hips, bending all the way down into the right knee, keeping the chest open, gaze is up, chin is up. Take a breath in. On the breath out, engage inner thighs, the glutes, making your way to Skandasana to the left. Slowly but surely, keeping that right foot flexed, keeping the chest open. Hands can come into prayer. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, make your way into low crescent lunge to the left, rotating the upper body over the top of the left thigh. Adjust where needed. Inhale. As you exhale, make your way to pyramid, straightening that front leg, stepping the back foot in slightly, bringing it to a 45-degree angle to the top edge of your space, shifting the hips back towards the back of your space, keeping a long, straight, flat back. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Once more, inhale. Exhale to settle. Take a breath in, and as you breathe it out, open it up to triangle on the left. Rotate that back foot so that you have heel to arch alignment with the feet. Open up the chest, keeping a long straight line from the right fingertips all the way down to the left. Your shoulders should be in a line. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, make your way to Goddess. Bending through the knees, bending through the arms. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, step in with the left foot to meet the right, coming into mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, settle. We will float that moon salutation once more through on each side. However, this time, we are going to add in some balancing and stretching poses. Meeting back off center from your mat. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, palms touch. Take a breath in, lengthen through the fingertips. On the breath out, lean to the right, feeling the stretch along the left side body. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. And as you exhale, step it out to Goddess. Practice the arms, keeping those feet at a 45-degree angle, engaging through the glutes, the inner thighs, navel is pulled in towards the spine. Here, we're going to inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, coming into star. Exhale, Goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, Goddess. Once more, inhale, star. Exhale, Goddess. Take a breath in. On the breath out, come into triangle to the right, turning that left foot so that the heel to arch alignment with the right and the left feet. keeping one long line from the fingertip to fingertip. Shoulders are in a line. You're between those two panes of glass. Take a breath in. On the breath out, make your way to pyramid, rotating that back foot to a 45-degree angle, shifting the hips towards the space behind, keeping a long flat back. Inhale, and as you exhale, fold over the top of the thigh. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Remembering you can keep a slight bend in the knees if you need. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, make your way into your low crescent lunge. And as you exhale, bring that back knee down to meet the mat, coming into a supported low crescent lunge. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, begin to rotate the upper body to the right of your space, bringing that right elbow to the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Or you can bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand to right hip, coming into revolved crescent lunge. You can press both your palms together, rotating from the upper body only, helping to open up the chest. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. You can leave that back knee into the mat, or you can lift it up. You can fly your arms. You can take a bind if you'd like. Not for me today. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to unwind, unravel, undo, making your way back up to supported low crescent lunge. Take a breath in, lengthen through the crown. And on that breath out, begin to straighten the front leg, coming into half splits, bringing the palms of the hands to frame the shins and the knees, keeping the right foot flexed. Your toes can be tucked in the left foot. You can stay in stillness here. You do not have to move. You can come through halfway lifts and forward folds. Or if you have ADHD like me and it's really hard for you to sit still, you can flow this half split into a runner's lunge, thinking your hips forward, opening up the chest a bit, crawling the hands from forward to back. Or if you'd like to give yourself a little bit of a flow in this pose, you can come with the arms, inhaling as you bring the arms up, biceps frame the ears, opening up the chest, lengthening back. And as you exhale, shift the hips back, coming through half splits. One of the tricks here to keeping your balance is keeping the chest up, the gaze up in front. That helps to find balance, steadiness, finding that dristy gaze, that blurry gaze on a spot out in front also helps. Inhale here. And no matter where you are, on the next exhale, we're going to meet in our half split. Taking a breath in, we're going to crawl ourselves forward. We're going to kick that left foot out behind us. Crawl ourselves forward. Bend our right leg long and come into gate pose. Here, if you'd like, you can shift the body forward and back. Again, if you have ADHD like me, and you can't sit still, you can do this. You can stay in stillness. Or you can maybe come through a few cat and cows. Again, your practice, your choice, yogi's choice. But eventually we're going to inhale, meet back in center. Exhale to stillness, pulling the navel in towards the spine. Inhale and begin to crawl the hands or walk the hands over to the left of your space. Exhale as the left hand stays. Inhale as the right arm comes up and over so that the bicep frames that right ear. Coming into extended gate pose. You can stay in stillness here. Or if you like, you could lift that right knee. You can even crunch it in if you're feeling a bit froggy today. Just don't kick your mirror over that you might be doing it in front of and knock it on top of you and it shatters. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips. And as you exhale, windmill the hands down. Begin to walk your way through center. bringing yourself all the way over to the right of your space. Here, if you have a block, you can use it. Or if you don't. But you're going to inhale. Bring that left arm up and over so that the left bicep frames the left ear. You can bring your right hand to your shin or the top of your calf, your thigh, your hip, bind around the back, or you can bring it down in front of the right shin. Whatever feels best for you. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out, keeping the chest open. Gaze is underneath the left armpit. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips. And as you exhale, windmill the hands down, walking them through center, all the way to the right. Once more. Left hand stays. Inhale as the right arm comes up and over. Exhale to settle. Same. You can stay in stillness. You can lift that right leg. You can crunch it. You can just move the leg up and down if you want. You can come into a sort of a bound angle behind, grabbing the top of the foot behind you, opening up the chest, pushing that top of the foot into the palm of the hand. Or you can say, screw all of that and stay just like this. Take a breath in. Stay for that breath out. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Walk them all the way over. Once more to the right of the space. Take a breath in. Right hand stays on the breath out. Left arm comes up and over. Left bicep frames the left ear. Again, yogi's choice here. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Once more, inhale. Exhale to settle. Inhale to lengthen. And on that exhale, windmill the hand down and around, coming through center. We're going to meet in center in stillness. Once more here, you can take a few cat-cows if you like, but eventually we're going to inhale and bring that right leg out long behind us, keeping the right foot flexed. You can stay just like this in stillness, keeping the navel pulled in towards the spine, keeping the shoulders over the wrist, keeping the gaze out in front. But if you'd like, you can come into Sunbird, where you lift the opposite arm. So this would be lifting the left arm, extending the right leg, keeping the navel in. Should be one long line from the left fingertips all the way through to the right heel. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. You can stay in stillness, or you can inhale. And as you exhale, you can crunch the left elbow, right knee. Inhale to open it up. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to open it up. Exhale to crunch, or to come into bound tiger, bringing that left hand around behind us, grabbing the top of the right foot, pushing that right foot into the left hand, keeping the core engaged, pushing out of the right palm. Open up, or don't. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, come back into Sunbird. Take a breath in. On the breath out, come back in to both palms down on the mat. You can leave the right leg extended for just a moment. Inhale as you bend the right knee. Exhale as you send the right knee up and over so that the right knee is to the outside. I'll turn this way. Is to the outside of the left. You can splay your feet in a bit further or further apart or closer together, yogi's choice, but we're going to inhale, try to keep our palms just where they are, and exhale as we sink our hips back down towards our heels, coming into what I call a pretzel child's pose, or a knotted or twisted child's pose. 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, begin to make your way back up through center, exhaling as you unwind, unravel, undo, coming into a tabletop. We're going to inhale as we extend the left leg long. Exhale to settle, keeping that left foot flexed. You can keep the right toes tucked or not. Remembering to keep the shoulders stacked on the wrists. Pull the navel in. Gazes towards the top of your space. Take a breath in. On that breath out, you can lift that right arm up, coming into Sunbird. If you'd like, take a breath in. On the breath out, you can crunch right elbow, left knee. Inhale to open up. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale to open up. And this time you can exhale to crunch it in together or come into bound tiger, bringing the right hand around, windmilling it around, bringing it to the top of the left foot, pressing that left foot into the hand, pushing out of the left hand. Take a breath in, open up the chest. On the breath out, settle. Inhale. As you exhale, unwind, unravel, undo. Same way you came in, come out. Both palms come down to meet the mat, left leg extended. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, send it up and over to the outside of the right. Take a breath in. And on that breath out, sink the hips back towards the heels. Coming through that pretzel child pose. One more breath here. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale as you unwind, unravel, undo. Coming out of the pose the same way you came into it. We're going to meet in tabletop. We're going to inhale, and just for a moment, we're going to send that right leg back out to the side. You'll see why in a second. Coming back into that gate pose on the right. Inhale, bring that left foot in towards the right knee or in towards the center of our space. Sink the hips back, sitting back onto our bums for just a moment. And as you exhale, eventually bring that right leg up and over the left, coming into open face cow. We're going to inhale, lengthen up through the crown. Exhale to settle. Hands can come out to the side, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Take a breath in, lengthen. And on the breath out, walk the hands out in front, bringing the upper body to rest over as much as you can, the top of the knees, the top of the thighs. 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, begin to walk the hands back up to center. And as you exhale, bring the palms down behind you, bringing them into the space behind you. Inhale, lift up the chest, lift up the chin, stretch everything out. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, walk the hands back up to center. We're going to do a fun little transition here. Can feel like a rocket for about a half a second. We're going to inhale and then can kick our feet so that we rotate them, bringing the left over top of the right, coming into open face cow on the opposite side. Hands come out to the sides, stacking the shoulders over the hips. It will probably feel different on one side than the other. Adjust as needed, where needed. Take a breath in, lengthen through the crown. On the breath out, walk the hands all the way out in front, bringing the top of the body to rest over the top of the thigh and the knee. You're still lengthening through the crown of the head. 2 breaths here. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Deep breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale as you walk the hands back up through center. Exhale as you bring them behind. Palms come into the mat or the floor. Inhale, open up the chest, lift the chin, lift the gaze, pressing the chest forward. Settle. Take a deep breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale, and as you exhale, walk the hands forward, meeting in center. Take a breath in. Bring that left leg out to the side. And as you exhale, come up onto that right knee, kick it out behind, coming into gate pose on the left. We'll meet in center. Same here, yogi's choice. You can stay in stillness, pulling the navel in towards the spine, adjusting your stance for this pose. You can sway forward and back, sinking the hips towards the heels, coming over the top of the wrists, or you can go through a few cat and cows. Eventually, we'll meet back in center in stillness, neutral spine. Inhale and begin to walk the hands over to the right of your space. Exhaling as the right hand stays. Inhaling as the left arm comes up and over, bicep frames that left ear. Staying on this side. Feel free to stay in stillness. Do nothing. Your practice. Up to you. Or you can lift that left leg up long, making one long line, one long straight line from the left fingertips all the way out through the flexed left foot. Or you could crunch in as you exhale, inhaling to open up. Or if you'd like, you can bring that left hand around to grab the top of the left foot, pushing the left foot into the left palm, opening up the chest. One more inhale, stay for the exhale. Take a breath in, lengthen through the fingertips. On the breath out, windmill the hands down. Walk them all the way around to the left. Take a breath in, left hand stays. Inhale, right arm comes up and over. Bicep frames the ears, gaze is underneath the right arm. Open up the chest. Again, your hand can be in front on the mat, in front of your shin, your knee, or your thigh, or your hand can be up on the calf, the thigh, around the small of your back. Whatever feels best for you today. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Again, inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down, walking them all the way around to the right. The right one more time. Right hand stays. Inhale the left arm up and over. Same here. You can look underneath the arm in stillness. You can lift that left foot. You can crunch it in. As you exhale, inhale to open, exhale to crunch. Inhale to open, or again, take the bind. Eventually, we're going to take a breath in. We're going to stay for the breath out. And on our next inhale, we're going to lengthen. And as we exhale, we're going to cartwheel the hands down, walk them through center, all the way to the left. Left hand stays. Inhale the right arm up and over. Take a breath in. Stay for that breath out. Inhale. Exhale to settle. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Windmill them down. Walk them to the center. Again, feel free to take a cat-cow here if you'd like. We're going to inhale. As we exhale this time, we're going to walk our hands all the way over to the left, kicking that right foot behind us this time, turning the left foot so that the left foot flexes up towards the ceiling, coming into our half split, sinking our hips towards our heels. We're going to stay here in stillness if we want, or if we'd like, we can move through some halfway lifts, keeping the foot flexed. If we can't sit still due to ADA and fidget problems, we can crawl the hands forward and back, coming through a runner's lunge and a half split. Or we can use the arms, inhaling when we come into the runner's lunge, exhaling as we sink the arms back towards our sides and sink our hips towards our heels. Inhale to the top. Exhale to the back. Once more, inhale wherever you are. And as you exhale, we're going to meet in our half splits. Bring the hands to frame that left leg. Take a breath in, crawl yourself forward, come into your supported low crescent. Hands can come to heart center. To adjust here to the proper alignment for your body, a good little cue to use that I like is to pull the front hip back while pulling the back hip forward to square the hips for proper alignment. So for this one, you would pull the left hip back while pulling the right hip forward, and that just squares you to the proper setting. It helps to keep you balanced. Engaging through the inner thighs, pull the navel in, stack the shoulders over the hips, take a breath in. And on our breath out, we're going to meet in a revolved crescent. Remembering that you can bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, keeping the palms together in prayer, rotating the upper body only, opening up the chest, pushing the palms into one another. Or you can bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand to left hip. You can also tuck those back toes, come up off of that knee. You can fly the arms. Tons of variations and options here. Yogi's choice. You can take a bind if you can get there. Up to you, because it's your practice. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And if that back knee was lifted, as you exhale, lower it back down into the mat. Take a breath in. On the breath out, unwind, unravel, undo. Coming back up through center. Take a breath in as you adjust. On the breath out, come up off of that knee, coming into our low crescent lunge. Same. Pull the left hip back while pulling the right hip forward. Stacking the shoulders over the hips. Inhale. And as you exhale, come into your pyramid. Come over the top of the left leg. Pivot that back foot in a bit and bring it to a 45-degree angle. Shift your hips back towards the space behind you, keeping a long flat back and a neutral spine. You can keep a slight bend in your knees. Either way, we're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as we fold and melt. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and melt. Last time, take a breath in. On the breath out, fold and melt. Inhale. And begin to find yourself making your way to your triangle. Exhaling as we meet with our chest open, our arm extended. Keeping that long line, shoulders are in line, chest is open. You can still have a slight bend in the knees, but make sure you have that heel to arch alignment with the feet. Remember, you're between two panes of glass. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale. And as you exhale, make your way to goddess. Cactus the arms, bend the knees, engage through the glutes, the thighs. Feet are at a 45-degree angle. Shoulders are over the hips. Take a breath in, and on the breath out, pull the elbows in towards one another. Create a hollow body hold with the upper body only. Inhale to open. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale to open. Exhale to round and curl. Last time, inhale to open. It's kind of like cow-cat. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale to goddess. Exhale, step the right foot in to meet the left. Mountain Pose Tadasana. Take a breath in. On the breath out, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down. Rise up. Mountain Pose Tadasana. Exhale to settle. You may want to find your way to the top of your space. Coming into mountain pose. This is our last chaturanga or sun salutation. Hey, practice, take it or leave it, but we'll meet in down dog. Take a breath in, lengthen through the fingertips. On the breath out, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, walk, float, jump or fly the feet back, coming into a high plank. Take a breath in, shift forward. On the breath out, chaturanga, elbows grace the ribcage. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. On the breath out, settle. Once more, inhale. Exhale, settle. Inhale. And on this next exhale, bring the knees down into the mat, coming through tabletop. Sitting off to one side of the hips or the other. Rotating the legs so they come out in front. Bringing the palms of the feet into the mat, bending the knees. Remove any excess meat from the seat. Bringing the hands around the back of the thighs, lengthening up through the crown, up through the spine. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, slowly begin to sink into the mat, one vertebrae at a time, using the hands around the back of the thighs for support, eventually meeting with our entire spine, tailbone to neck bone pressed into the mat, bringing the feet back in just a bit. Let the hands come down by your sides. Fingertips graze the back of the heels one more time. You can begin to close down the eyes, pulling the gaze inward, making sure that jaw's unhinged, facial muscles are relaxed. You may need to roll the shoulders underneath the body. You can leave the feet where they are if you'd like. You can tuck them out to the side, or heel toe them out to the side, But eventually, begin to windshield wiper the knees from side to side, lingering on one side longer than the other if needed. Eventually, we'll meet back in the center in stillness, bringing the feet back into about hips width distance apart. Take a breath in. Pull the knees in towards heart center. On the breath out, squeeze everything in. You can roll from side to side, rolling to massage the lower back and the spine. We're going to inhale, squeeze everything in. On our exhale, shift the knees to underneath our armpits, pulling them into the outside edges of our rib cage. Inhale, give yourself a squeeze. And as you exhale, we're going to go through a few options here. You can come into happy, blissful baby, which I call annoying, gassy baby because we have 7 children. We're a blended family. I've had my fill of babies. Just kidding. I like babies most of the time, unless they're gassy or whiny or annoying. Anyway, inhale. And as you exhale, stamp your feet up towards the sky, bringing the palms of the hands to the palms of the feet, pressing the entire length of the spine into the mat. You can also bring the hands to the ankles, the shins, behind the thighs if that feels better. But if you're in happy, blissful baby or annoying, whiny, gassy baby, you can also extend one leg long and then the other. You can extend both legs long. You can sway from side to side. But if happy, blissful, gassy, annoying baby is not your jam, like it is not my jam, you can say, screw it, I don't want to do that. I feel inappropriate when I do. You can come into one of my favorite poses for real, which is legs up the wall. This is stacking the heels over the hips, keeping the feet flexed. The toes are flexed towards the chest. You will feel a bit of a tingle along the back line of the legs. You're trying to push your heels towards the ceiling and flex your toes towards your chest. Your hands can be down by your side if you'd like. If you have a strap, you can put it around the bottom of your feet, whether you're in legs up the wall or you're in happy baby. Yogi's choice. You can also put a block on the bottom of your feet if you're in legs up the wall. I do this pose every day, usually twice a day. It relieves tension and stress from the lower body. It relieves swelling. It brings circulation back to the upper part of your body. It has tons of benefits. I love it. If I am able to do it in the evening, I will do it if I meditate in the evening before bed, and I will literally put my legs up the wall as I do my 10 to 15 minute meditation, guided meditation, and then I swear I sleep better. Whether it's in my mind or it's not, I don't know. It works. Try it. Let me know. It works for you. 2 or 3 more breaths here on your own. On your next inhale, begin to bend the knees in towards heart center. Exhaling as you give yourself a squeeze, wrapping the arms around the shins. Inhale once more, squeeze everything in. Bring the forehead up to meet the knees in gratitude. Thanking yourself for showing up today. Exhaling as you squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take a deep breath in. And on that breath out, let it all go. Come into your Savasana, your resting pose, your final pose. Try to stay connected with the present moment, with that affirmation, that mantra, that intention. Keeping the eyes closed, the gaze pulled inward. Try to come back into your own natural pace of breath. I will return for you when it's time. If you'd like, you can feel free to stay just as you are in stillness, or you can begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe rolling the head from side to side, or perhaps you take a gentle full body stretch, lengthening through the fingertips, out through the toes, eventually rolling onto our favorite side, coming into fetal pose, bringing the hand around in front for support, and the arm underneath the head for support, bending the knees, keeping the navel into the spine, keeping the eyes closed, the face muscles relaxed. Take a breath in, ready for the breath out. Inhale as you begin to push yourself up to a seated position. Exhaling as we meet in easy seat Sukhasana, crisscross applesauce, removing any excess meat from our seat. Or you can come up onto the shins. Either way, we're keeping the navel pulled in towards the spine, stacking the shoulders over those hips, letting the shoulder blades melt down the back, lengthening up through the crown of the head, keeping the chin parallel with the space below. Hands can come to heart center. We'll end class similarly to how we began, taking a few breaths together, taking a deep breath in through the nose, fill up. Exhale slowly through the mouth, let it go. Once more, inhale through the nose, feel your belly lift, feel your heart lift. Exhale slowly through the mouth, let it go. As you move through the rest of your day, your week, your month, the next 6 months, the next year. If at any point in time you begin to feel like maybe you're not growing, or that growth is painful, or negative thoughts, overwhelming thoughts, flustered, mustard, out of sorts thoughts start to creep in to the mind, take a pause for the cause. The pause is your sanity. Take a deep breath in and pull all those ungrowing, negative, overwhelming, and stressful thoughts to the forefront of your mind. And on an exhale, let them all go. And when you begin to feel back up again, remind yourself that growth includes pain, and only bring with you those unpainful, growing, positive thoughts. I got this. I'm awesome. I am strong. I'm steady. I am grounded. I am cool. I am calm. I'm collective. I'm patient. I am confident. I am blessed. Whatever resonates with you in that day, in that moment, connect with it. Connect the affirmation, the intention with your breath, with your mindset, and with that moment, and try to flow through the rest of that day, that moment, that weekend, or that time, with that at the forefront of your mind. Bringing the thumbs to third eye center, that space between the brow, the space of a little bit of love, because love comes from the heart, a lot of light, a lot of intuition. The light, the love, the weird and quirky yogi in me so much honors, respects, enjoys, appreciates, and loves the light, the logi, the light, the love, and the yogi in each of you. Thank you.